Hey everybody, this is Roy with Roy's Life Hacks and Builds. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to remove a fuel pump on a 2010 Ford Ranger. Alright guys, so to remove the fuel pump on this Ford Ranger, it's a lot easier just to take off the bed than to drop the tank. Once I remove these 10 bolts that hold the bed, I'll show you guys how I lift the bed out with the cherry picker. Start by removing the bed. In the bed there was 10 bolts that hold it down, right there and in the corners, and there's just a plug that you gotta unplug for the lights, and the fuel pump's right there. So before doing anything guys, let's always make sure we take off, disconnect the battery. That way we don't have no problems or anything of anything shorting out. I always disconnect both of them just to be on the safe side. Once we have the battery disconnected, then we can start undoing everything for the fuel pump. These are 3 10mm bolts that holds this cap on there. And this comes off like that. And there's our fuel pump. We gotta disconnect all the lines. And get everything off. Now they have these little tabs on the sides that you push in. Some of them are easy, some of them are kind of hard. Like that. There's that one. This big one has this little red tab. Pull that out, and then that comes off. Some of them you might have to push them in with a screwdriver. Just be careful with them because they break easy. Just like that, everything's disconnected. And now we gotta get this ring off of there. We could do that by tapping on it. There is a tool that you put over this, but I don't have it because I really don't need it. So to take this off, you basically hit it like on the edges, like right here where my screwdriver's at, and it comes off. Make sure we remove all the fuel lines, that way we don't break them. And then this top ring comes off. Set that aside. And the whole fuel assembly unit comes up. And just like that, it comes out. Also remember that it has this big O-ring right here, so that it creates a seal. Alright, so when putting the new one back on, just gotta make sure we put it in the same way we took it off. And we'll put this new O-ring on there. Remember guys, you gotta put the O-ring on before you put the fuel pump in. Otherwise, you're gonna have to take everything apart again. Like that. And be careful when putting the fuel pump in too, that way you don't damage any of the electrical. Alright, so once we have the fuel pump in, there we go. There it is. Sits like that. You got to keep a little bit of pressure on it when installing this ring again. So when installing this ring back on again, it's a little tough. You gotta hit it with like a big screwdriver or something and a hammer. Like so. Let's put that back on so we don't get dirt in there. Special tools for this, I don't use them because I can do it this way and it's a lot easier. And that's it, I believe. Alright, when putting that ring on guys, make sure you see these little bumps right here? They have to line up with the middle of this. There's a little groove where it sets. So now, we can plug everything back in. Make sure you push that red tab back in after you put it on. Pull on it just to make sure it's good. Spare windows here. push on that with the screwdriver just to make sure it's in there all the way. It is. This blue one goes here. Oh, wrong one. This one goes here. This one goes here. This one goes here. And there you go. Before I put this top cap on, I'm gonna turn the truck on, see if it'll turn over. Alright, so once we have everything on, I'm gonna see if the truck will turn on, but let me connect the battery real quick. Our problem. Now I'll go ahead and put the cover back on here now that I know it runs. Now, I'll just put this back on how it was, like so. We'll put that little 3 nuts that go on there again. We'll tighten those up. Let me reset the camera. That way you guys can see me put the bed on. Alright guys, before we put the bed back on, this is the plug I was telling you guys, the plug for the tail lights. We just need to plug it back in. So it clicks like that, pull on it, and that's it. And we'll tuck that back there. This wire's plugged back in too. And before we bolt it down, we're just gonna make sure no wires are getting pinched. But yeah, that's basically it. And then you were able to take off the whole bed. Let me get you guys reset, and then I'll show you guys how I'm putting the bed back on. Be lining up. Good. And this is my setup. Put 2 straps in the X, and then a chain that holds it in the middle, and I use my cherry picker to pick the bed up. It's real easy. That way you're not breaking your back. If you're gonna do this, do not use the motorcycle straps. Use the bigger ones, the 2-inch ones. The bed is pretty heavy. All we gotta do now is just tighten it down. Well, before I do that, I'll make sure none of the wires are pinched underneath. So yeah, guys, with this setup in the back, you see there's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 on the other side, and there's 2 on each front corner to hold this bed on. And to pull those bolts off, it's a Torx bit, a big one. It's a T55. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's what takes them off. Alright, and always remember to install the fuel neck right here. Those, when I took them off, it's a 7mm little screw. You just put that right back in there. Install the cap back on there. That up. And this fuel pump is complete on the truck. Now I'll start it up one more time for you guys. Running real smooth now. It wasn't starting before at all. Yeah, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And leave your comments down below.